What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Life in the Fast Lane. I am Andy Lang from WagerTalk.com. We got a packed show this week. We got a Formula One race, we got a NASCAR recap, and then, of course, we got Talladega coming up. So we're going to go over all that. Leave your comments and picks below, guys. Tell me who you like. Tell me what your best bets are in the Formula One, the NASCAR race. I always love seeing what you guys come up with. The NASCAR audience, like Steve Merrill has always said, is one of the most knowledgeable on Wager Talk. So I always love hearing your guys' insight. Coming off of a 1-0 week in NASCAR, only had one play, but it was a 4%er. We cashed it. Perfect week. So we'll take 4 units all day, every day on these races. And the NASCAR and Formula One pack will be up on WagerTalk.com. Both races will be included. So if you get the pack, you'll get all my NASCAR and Formula One picks. So let us get into a quick recap of the Bristol dirt race. Very exciting. They knocked this one out of the park. There was nothing they could do about the rain. NASCAR will always be NASCAR and will do some things that infuriate and frustrate the audience. But as far as the actual racing, the drivers, the cars, the crews, they were great. They were absolutely fantastic. And just a kudos to them because I thoroughly enjoyed it when we were under green. So, all right, we had Kyle Larson winning stage 1. He looked incredible, and the track starts to get really slick and hard as the cars pack down the dirt. And then we get rain coming in. Suarez, Briscoe, Chastain, they stay out when everyone else is pitting, hoping that the rain comes in. Rain comes in at the worst possible time, right at the end of stage 2. So we go to the delay, and after a long discussion, the announcers didn't know what was going on. NASCAR didn't know what was going on. The drivers didn't know what was going on. Chase Briscoe is determined to be the leader at the end of the stage. They come out, everything resets, and then, of course, we get the amazing finish with Reddick and Briscoe. Briscoe goes low. Reddick gets wrecked, and then, to his credit, says after the race, I should have pulled away. I shouldn't have let him get that close. So it's on me. And then Kyle Busch, who complains about guys sneaking in at the last second to get the win, sneaks in at the last second to get the win. It was a pretty funny moment, but a great race, a great finish, and congratulations to Kyle Busch for getting the win. There's some guys that are separating themselves on these short and dirt tracks. I mean, Joey Logano looks elite on these, even though he says he's not good at racing on the dirt. He sure looks good to me. Tyler Reddick, Briscoe, Kyle Larson, you got to keep these guys in the back of your head when we get to these dirt tracks and short tracks, if they're going to keep doing them. And if you're playing daily fantasy or seasonal fantasy leagues, Justin Haley should probably be in your lineup almost every week. He's vastly underpriced. This guy has 5 top 17 finishes in his last 7 races. Let's get to the Stenhouse Award. Oh boy, we had a lot of them, and I struggled with which one was the winner. But we'll start with Alex Bowman spins by himself to bring out the caution. Then he wrecks on the restart lap immediately after. Brad Keselowski spins by himself. That's been a theme this year for Brad. NASCAR and the announcers not having a clue what to do about the lineup after the rain delay was just hilarious. DW was thoroughly confused in the booth. All of them were confused. We couldn't get any answers from NASCAR. And then one of the drivers they interviewed said he didn't even know what they were allowed to do in the pit stop. It was classic NASCAR. I got Ross Chastain starts his car up after the rain delay. It breaks down before he completes one pace lap. And here's where I had the debate. The Chase Briscoe wrecking Tyler Reddick in the last turn, so Kyle Busch sneaks by, is an obvious one. But the premise of the Stenhouse Award is the unforced error award, and that wreck was forced. Chase Briscoe knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to wreck. So as crazy as it was, it handed a win to Kyle Busch. I don't have it as the number one unforced error because he meant to do that. The winner has got to be at the beginning of the race. Dirt is flying up everywhere before it gets packed down. Cole Custer and Kevin Harvick don't set their grills up properly. They get mud on their grills. So they come in on the green flag, and then they go a couple laps down. And as soon as they come back out, NASCAR just stops the race. Just red flag, stop the race. We're going to let everyone come in and clean their cars. And then NASCAR puts Custer and Harvick a lap down. Just like a total FU to both of them. Harvick's crew chief says he wants clarification from NASCAR, and NASCAR just didn't respond to him. And then after the race, Kevin Harvick rips NASCAR and then just says he doesn't know why they're racing on dirt. Anyways, it was a great moment, a complete cluster to get the race started. It's everything we love from the Stenhouse Award. So congratulations to Cole Custer and Kevin Harvick for not setting up their grills properly, and then NASCAR bungling it. All right, let's get to today's race. It's Talladega. You guys know what to expect. This is the restrictor plate style of race. It's pack racing. They're going to run a lot of green laps, just following each other, follow the leader. And it's difficult to handicap because we're always ready for the big one. We're always ready for the huge wrecks that takes out a lot of the field. And if you guys have been following me, you know I'm not going to have any head-to-head matchups for this NASCAR race. I like to look at the props and see if I can find something on cautions or drivers to finish or drivers to lead a lap. But head-to-head matchups, there's just no value in it. The wrecks are just... I won't ever do it. I haven't done it, and I won't do it now, but we'll look at the props. For what it's worth, the top 5 average finishers, if we combine Atlanta and Daytona this year, shout out to Rocky Atkinson because his boy, Bubba Wallace, best average finish at these two tracks, 7.5, followed by Chase Elliott at 8.0, Chase Briscoe at 9.0, Corey LaJoie sneaking in there at 9.5, and Ryan Blaney at 10.5. So if you're looking at guys who have had success this year on at Atlanta and Daytona, those are your guys. So I should expect to have all my NASCAR and Formula One plays out by the time this video gets up. We will have more plays on Sunday as the races get close. But now it is time to take a little trip into the Slipstream. We are going Formula One racing at Imola. We are in Italy, and we've got a lot of excitement coming into this race for several reasons. So let's go over the track just a bit. This is, we got some really long straightaways. The track is a bit narrow in places, so passing is going to be a little bit difficult. And there's some cars that have made some changes this week. The big one by far is Red Bull. They made their cars a little bit lighter. They're hoping to increase their speed in the corners, and they're hoping to try and figure out the reliability issues with Max Verstappen and see if they can keep up with Ferrari. But they should be able to increase that speed with the lighter cars. We do have to go over the schedule for this week. It's important to look at this. So Friday, they're going to practice and then they're going to qualify. But this is not qualifying for the race. This is qualifying for a short sprint race on Saturday. So when you see qualifying, just know it's qualifying for the Saturday sprint race. Okay, so they qualify on Friday. Saturday morning, they get a short practice in, and then comes the sprint race. They're going to run some laps, and the results of the sprint race will determine the starting grid of the race on Sunday. Why is this important? It's important because they only get one practice before they qualify, and Mercedes was quoted as saying not getting 3 practice sessions in is going to be difficult for them because they are struggling with their car this year, and they want time to try and work on it. So you might see Mercedes, if they do not have a good first practice session, really struggle in the qualifying and then in the sprint race. That could put them back on the grid. So that's something to look at. Other things to look at, the reliability of Red Bull, of course, is going to be questioned. And one thing that I'm going to be looking at is this middle of the pack with the Alpines. I'm taking a good look on. And I'm really going to be focusing on the McLarens because they've been improving since their terrible start to the season. Ricciardo and Norrin both had really good finishes last week, and I think there's some value on them, and that is going to take us into my best bet for this weekend. It is not going to be a NASCAR play. It's going to be a Formula One play, and I love getting plus 140 on Lando Norris to finish inside the top 6. He finished 5th last week after Sainz and Verstappen had trouble. And really, if you're looking at it, if he's fast again, all he needs is one of these Ferraris or Red Bulls or Mercedes to go out of the race. And he's going to be a top 6 car. We talked about Mercedes potentially could have trouble if they don't get off to a good start in the practice and qualifying. He's been faster than his teammate. He was better than the Alpines last week. I think McLarens are really showing that they have their act together now, and plus money on him to break into the top 6 is absolutely worth a sprinkle. So take a look at the Formula One practice and then in the qualifying. And as far as Talladega goes, you don't need to look at the practice or the qualifying. Just wait until the green flag drops on Sunday. I'm Andy Lang with WagerTalk.com. All the plays can be found on my profile page. You're going to get NASCAR as well as Formula plays included in the same pack this week. Should be a great week of racing. So good luck. Let's make it a profitable weekend. We'll see you next week on Life in the Fast Lane.